ArcSight was founded in May of 2000, and from the beginning we had the luxury of having funding and the option of choosing what problem to solve. So the approach we took was to talk to a lot of customers. We bounced some ideas off them, and interestingly enough, what came back from the customers was not any of the ideas we were bouncing off of them, but there was a consistent theme that they had networks that needed better security monitoring and analysis. They couldn't really afford to hire enough security professionals to do the analysis by hand, and there were not any good tools to automate this. So we thought it would be great to solve a problem that people were asking about unprompted. Our early funders were Silicon Valley Internet Capital, SVIC, KPCB, Kleiner Perkins, Caulfield Byers, and also In-Q-Tel, which is the investment arm of the CIA. So we actually had national level security interest from very early on, and that has actually parlayed into features in our product suite that have been very useful, not just for government and defense organizations, but also for commercial applications, as it turns out. So one of the advantages that our architecture has had from the beginning is a very flexible layer at what I guess you could call the bottom, which is where we bring in feeds from different vendors' products. This is our connector architecture, and it was designed to be both flexible, extensible, and modular. And this has allowed us, for example, to add new features to connectors as a whole that apply immediately across several hundred connectors that we ship without having to replicate that work in each individual connector. It's also allowed us to be able to cost-effectively build new connectors as new devices and new versions show up on the market. And in fact, one interesting example of this is we've done a fair amount of work for what we collectively refer to as three-letter agencies. And those are agencies in the Beltway that we cannot name. However, sometimes they have needed us to produce connectors for devices that they use, and these devices might not be what we call off-the-shelf commercial currently shipping products. And generally what they do is they'll tell us, for example, we're going to give you a list of 15 devices you need to support, of which we're only going to use 3 or 5. But since we can't tell you what they are, you have to build all 15. So this may seem like a roundabout way to get things done. Fortunately, we have an architecture that's flexible enough for it to be practical for us to undertake these kind of overkill assignments, and that has stood us in good stead. One of the benefits of having a flexible platform has been that as our customers have identified things they could do with the product, we've been able to actually follow their lead and create new vertical solutions to provide out-the-box offerings in those arenas. One example is we had customers in the financial industry that were using our product to monitor the security of their networks and started crossing over and sharing the technology with their fraud departments. And that led to us building a dedicated fraud product that actually complements the legacy fraud solutions that many banks have already deployed by providing a technology that actually bridges the network information with the account transaction information and provides real-time monitoring across both arenas. This has been very successful for us already. We have also expanded beyond perimeter security into what we call protecting the business, which is looking past just sort of raw network activity into the users within an organization, what are their roles, and what are the operations of the business that need to be protected. So needless to say, this goes much deeper into the core of keeping an organization's business secure than just sort of who's knocking at my door. One of the things I'm most proud of about ArcSight's culture is our interaction with customers. To give you one example, we have an annual user conference that we've been doing for 5 years plus now that's typically attended by more people from our customer base than the number of companies that we have as customers. What's unique about this conference is that it's attended by customers and our developers and engineers. So it's not a sales or marketing event. It's really a family reunion for the customers and the people who are building products for them. Customers give presentations, engineers give presentations, and the customers come away telling us that they learn more about other customers' success with the product and the inner workings from that conference than through any other interaction or medium that they have with us or other companies. This is huge for us. But the rest of the year, we also spend a lot of time talking to customers, and this is how we figure out how to prioritize what should go into the products. So as the nature of the threat evolves, not just the technologies to combat it, but even the arena, the playing field on which we're doing battle evolves. So traditionally, people have deployed their business computing power, if you will, their corporate networks in data centers that are either on-site or that are in some remote location. But more and more, the computing power within an organization is both being situated and extended out into the cloud. And also there is a lot of mobile computing that is tethered or connected into an organization's network during the course of a business day. And so this basically increases the surface that has to be defended against cyber threats and cyber criminals. This is obviously of great interest to us, and we are embarked on several initiatives to provide tools that help organizations both monitor their voluntary and possibly involuntary cloud presence, and also to deploy our monitoring tools within their cloud deployments, and also to monitor mobile access to their networks.